Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to pick number 28 of my favorite 30 drummers of all time. We're doing this countdown each and every day here this month in November. 30 days in the month. Our 30 favorite drummers, any genre, any style, all up for grabs. Got to pick our absolute favorites. Remember, this is not best. There's probably going to be tons of superior, technical, amazing drummers that won't be on my list just because they're not among my favorites, right? So we're all picking our favorites. That's how it goes. So today, for pick number 28, this is a guy who I guess you could say he's kind of done it all. He's played with so many bands and artists over the years, and he's got a discography that is pretty damn amazing, if you ask me. And just such a great player, very cool guy. Had him on the channel here once as well. And let's bring him to the table here. Of course, I am talking about none other than Mr. Simon Phillips. That's right. Simon Phillips, of course, trying to get out of the way of the image here. There we go. Simon, acclaimed drummer. Of course, he's like I said, he's played with God. He played on a Judas Priest album. He played with Michael Schenker. He's played with Toto. He's played with so many people. Like I said, his discography is ridiculous. He's got lots of solo albums. He's got his own fusion band called Protocol. Lots and lots and lots of great stuff. A beast of a drummer that it's just amazing to think about how long he has been a factor. He's played with Pete Townsend, The Who, and done lots of stuff over the years. It's so many albums. If you go and look at his discography, like I said, and you'll just see all of the appearances that he's made over the years. It's really, really stunning. And he's a guy who just keeps getting better and better and better. Definitely one of the greats out there, and always among my favorites. And he's definitely a great, great drummer. So let's talk about some of the albums that I have picked. I picked three of them. It's really hard because there's so many great ones, but I have picked three that I think contain perhaps some of my favorite drumming from him overall. So he's, like I said, he's got this band called Protocol. Let me take off the Prezi here so we can see all these things here the way they should be. So I'm going to go start with Protocol 4, Simon Phillips Protocol. So this is the fusion band that he has put together. It's got, for the most part, a revolving lineup, although some guys pretty steady, like Ernest Tibbs on bass has been in the band for quite a while. This particular record, he's got the great Greg Howe on guitars, and Dennis Ham on keyboards. Like I said, Ernest Tibb on bass. Amazing, amazing stuff here. What's so great about the Protocol band is that they, I think, pay homage to the fusion greats of the 70s, but they do it in a more modern style, which is really cool. It doesn't get much better than this. Some great stuff on here. Nimbus is terrific, Solitaire, Pentangle, Azores, Phantom Voyage. I mean, so many great, great tracks on here. Just top-notch precision, instrumental, jazz rock fusion. Excellent, excellent. Great production on these two as well. I'm going to go to one of the more recent ones. This is the follow-up to that. This is Protocol 5. All right. So here we've got Ernest Tibbs also on board, but here you've got Alex Sill on guitars. You've got sax on here. You've got keyboards on here. Admaro Ruiz and Jacob Skesny. Interesting here, adding the sax to the sound, right? They've never done that before. I really like this a lot. I'm a big Chick Corea Electric Band fan, and I have no issues with sax being in a fusion kind of environment. And I think it really, really works here. This arguably could be their strongest album. I generally go to these two. But man, Simon's drumming just so off the charts. I mean, he's such a like steady keeper of everything, keeps everything under control, but he does so much cool little busy stuff underneath without being overly showy, which I think is just absolutely great. Again, tracks on here to check out. Jagging Off the Top, the opening track is so good. I love Isosceles is great. Dark Star is another terrific song. You got the Long Road Home, which is the final track on here, also really, really good. I mean, that's the thing about Simon. He's like he totally can be a technician, but he's got the feels, and he's great at keeping time. And just like I said, everything kind of it's kind of cool when you have a drummer who's a leader of a band, but yet he doesn't want the spotlight on him all the time. And I think that's really one of the most important things about Simon Phillips. It's like when you stop and you listen to the stuff, whether it's, his solo stuff or stuff he did with Toto or any project that he's done, you like it's almost like you forget that he's there, but then when you stop and you really listen, you're amazed by what he's doing. Really, really cool. And me as someone who's not a drummer and someone who does not tend to pay a lot of attention to drummers sometimes, when I do say, all right, this is what I'm going to do, I'm going to listen to this piece of music or this album, and I'm going to specifically target the drums. When I listen to anything that Simon's on, it makes you appreciate what he does all the more. And my third pick, I didn't grab it, but I'm going to pick Vortex by Derek Sherinian. So it's Derek Sherinian's most recent solo album. Derek Sherinian, of course, keyboard player, has played with a who's who out there. He's Dream Theater, Alice Cooper, Yngwie Malmsteen, Billy Idol, you name it. I mean, he's done so much stuff. Sons of Apollo, um, Whom Gods Destroy. I mean, Derek is always busy. Black Country Communion, but his solo records are absolutely amazing and marvelous. And his last few, he has worked with Simon specifically on, the two of them writing, Simon producing, and Simon also playing on them. And the Vortex album, the most recent one, just so good. What is it? It's instrumental rock. There's little dabbles of fusion. It's prog. Right, it's like there's metal on there, just really, really aggressive stuff. And I mean, Simon really gets to unleash some heavy leather on these particular albums with Derek Sherinian, because it's just, I mean, these are raucous, they're rumbling, there's lots of shredding going on, so just absolutely amazing stuff. So yeah, definitely check out Vortex or any of Derek Sherinian's more recent albums, the last few, because he's worked with Simon. Him and Simon have a really nice partnership going on, which I think is very, very cool. It's great when two like absolute virtuosos get together and create really good music together. And I know, like Derek, Derek always looked up to Simon. I think I know for him, it's a thrill to be working with the great Simon Phillips from a playing perspective, songwriting, and having Simon produce the albums. Amazing stuff. All right, so my favorite performance. So this was really tough. I thought and thought and thought and thought, and I'm like, God, I could pick like any track from any of these albums I talked about or any albums that I haven't talked about. I thought about some great stuff he's done with Toto, but then I'm like, God, I went all the way back to the first time that I ever kind of like recognized Simon Phillips and really said, all right, who's that drummer? I'm really liking what I'm hearing here. And it's we're gonna go back all the way to the really, really early 80s. What year did this album come out? I believe it was it 1980, I believe. 1980, 1981. I believe it's 1980. Yeah, 1980. He was brought on basically as a session drummer, not necessarily to be in the band, but as a session drummer to complete a first solo record from this guitar player who had just left a pretty notable band. And he absolutely knocks it out of the park on this album. And I'm going to go with Feels Like a Good Thing from the Michael Schenker Group debut album. And why I picked that song, first of all, I'm a sucker for a rockin' song where the drummer kicks everything off with a really catchy barrage. And of course, it's no different on Feels Like a Good Thing. Wow, and the riff comes in. It's absolutely lethal. I mean, Simon just leads in Michael on this one. It's so good. And throughout the song, he's doing all this really cool stuff. And then at the end of the song, where everything kind of stops and Michael rips into a solo and Simon is just rumbling underneath him. Oh, it's so good. I can't tell you how many times, like in recent years, I've gone back and listened to this album again and thinking, man, how cool would it have been if like Michael convinced Simon to join the band full time and them go out on the road and make other albums together. I think it would have been so, so cool. Didn't happen. Then again, maybe we wouldn't have gotten Cozy Powell to join up with Michael. Right. So it's sometimes things work for a reason, but I still look back and think, yeah, it would have been really, really cool to see these two guys work together long term because contrary to popular belief, Simon Phillips could do the heavy rock thing pretty damn good. He could do pop stuff. He could do straight ahead rock. Obviously, we see he can do fusion and more jazz oriented stuff, but he was really good. I mean, he's great on that Priest album too, right? Go listen to Sin After Sin. Great performance on there. So, but yeah, feels like a good thing from the Michael Schenker group is my favorite performance from Simon. But so many, you pick anything that he's played on, and it's great. There's no wrong answer for Simon Phillips, folks. So trust me when I say that. So anyway, he's my pick for today. Simon Phillips, pick number 28. Let us know what you think of the great Mr. Phillips down in the comments below, as well as your pick for today, pick number 28. And we'll see you tomorrow for number 27. Till then, visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube all together all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already and click on that notification bell so you get alerted of all of our content as a post. And please do hit the like button before you leave. Also, down below, we got the links to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations, our merch page, our Cameo page, and the Sea of Tranquility Join Now membership options. So thanks to all of you that help out with any of these options here. We greatly appreciate it, and we'll see you soon here with more stuff. Don't touch that dial. We got ranking the albums coming up in just a little bit. I will be ranking the catalog of Babe Ruth, very cool UK hard rock, blues rock, jazz rock, prog rock, man. They're kind of hard to classify, but I'm going to attempt to do that. So that's coming up in just a little bit. And then, of course, we've got In the Prog Seat coming up on Tuesday. That is our highlight program of the week. Stay tuned for that. New album reviews on Wednesday. We got Monsters Den also coming up next week as well. Do we have Monsters Den next week? No, we were all caught up on Monsters Den. Sorry, Monsters Den will be in. I got my weeks because we got all screwed up recently, right? With me being on vacation and stuff. So we've got uh Friday morning at the Funhouse, the Professor's Picks. We've got Jamie Lazo on the review crew, and one more another album ranking on Sunday. That's the whole week for you, plus other stuff that might come up. So till then, I am Pete Pardo. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you soon. Bye bye.